As my great introduction, I'm Colleen Ferentz, and I just wanted to share a little bit about how, I'm using the flip chart and this awesome technology that the Promethean board gives us. So here I am, okay. One of the things, like, how do I use the flip chart? And I use it to organize my lessons, a place for all my videos and worksheets, textbooks, images, and one of the favorite things that I like are my ticker tapes. And I love to just send messages to my students, and in the morning they will come and they will look and say, what is Mrs. Ferentz sharing? And they'll try to read. So it's a lot of fun to do that. So I might have my morning message up, and these just some pictures of what I do. And then I have links to my music, and I can just click on that link. If you see, there's a little play button, and I can just click right on there and just go to whatever morning music I might have for the day. So it's kind of neat to do that. And then I wanted to share my ticker tape. I have not the resource browser, and you can go and just click on that arrow, and there's all the ticker tape activities, any of your flip charts you made. So I'm going to go on my ticker tape, and up here, let's see. No, it doesn't want to let me do it. All right, I'll go to my flip charts. We'll go to the ticker tapes, and then there's different ones that you can go to look. Like I have, you can do hard things. And so my students love to really try to read those and try to guess as to what I have to say to them to encourage them for the day. The next thing is, like, when you do your flip charts, you can do it in a studio mode, which, a more sophisticated kind of look. Because I teach primary, I love using my primary because it gives you lots of pictures down here. When I go use my tools, I have all these things I can use. And when you use a studio, it has just a drop down of words. So if you are more sophisticated, or you just want to have, you have older kids like high schoolers, you don't have to do the primary look. You could just do the studio fill, and it's just as fun, and there's so many tools and things to use. Yes. And then I use it, like I said, to organize my lessons. It's so easy to have one place to store everything. Like I have my reading textbook, and there's so many buttons, and you can play around with all the tools and all the things that they have. Or you have a button, or you can just make your own by using your shapes if you want to do, to have a different, kind of feel for it. But I can just open my textbooks in one place. I can go into flip charts, other flip charts that I have, or our district is helping us with some phonics flip charts. And so we can just kind of go on there, and just a nice place to kind of organize your lessons. And, I put my Bitmoji classroom in there. And when we read, before we read, we have an I notice, I wonder. And so I keep that up so that gives them an idea of what to be thinking about as we look at our story and do picture walks and things. And here's just a picture of one of our little lessons that we did with the picture walk. I also make it like a link to my libraries. So I can go in and I can just click on my library, and it'll take me to, books, and then I can just go on YouTube or wherever the books, take me. And so students can read, or we can read a story together. And so that's just nice. This one was about money, and I'm part of a Bitmoji group. And so lots of people share with lots of things. So go out there, look, and join groups, and you'll get lots of information and lots of new activities and things. When I'm teaching like tall tales and folk tales, I have these books on that. So we were able to go in and read a couple different ones and compare and contrast different folk tales and tall tales. And one fun thing we did is I had a money, we did a money lesson, money and time. And so I was able to go, and this is what I really, really like about these flip charts. You can go to the resource browser, and remember I had my ticker tapes. Well, then I can go to my flip charts, and I have them all down here. And if I want to use one of them, say I'm in this lesson and I want to use one, I can just come down here and find the one that I really was working on. And I wanted to bring this one up because I wanted to show you a fun activity that's in the resource browser. And it's the how much, and you can just draw your money down, and they could do different coins, and there's the $50. And that was just a fun activity for my kids to do. And then they could go up to the board and they can manipulate. You'd write how much you wanted them to find. And then when you're ready to go back to the other one that you're working on, then it goes right back to it. Now it might go to the first screen, so you can quickly go to where you belong. So that's just another fun thing I really enjoyed about the flip charts and the resources. There's so many out there. I even cut and pasted a money song, and so we sang this song, and it was just a really fun activity. And my children, they learned money really, really well. And there's stuff for time. You could go and just go into all the resources. I'd go to subjects, and I mean, there's everything. I'll just go to math because that's easy. We're going to be doing geometry soon. So you just, and maybe do some geo boards. And then down here, you'll have some different choices. That's another reason why I like the primary, because the pictures are right here. And I can just click on it really quick and bring it into my flip chart and just use what I need to use. So there's so many resources, so much out there, and you can even go to other locations and that people have shared and all of that. So that's a really, really fun and good thing about these flip charts. And they really did help me to engage my students and make it a little bit brighter and not boring. Here's just some things that I've done with them. We also do Crazies, and they love Crazies. So having it on the board and letting them see, where they are, and it's just lots of fun. And then they have the timer and the spinner. So everyone's name's on the spinner. So we'd spin it. And then you can see my little ticker tape, and it just kind of goes across the top. I had this up because we have news in the morning, and I still want them to know what it is their morning work is. So the ticker tape would take their morning work across while we had the news on or whatever else. So then they still would know what to do. So that was kind of fun. Also, just once again, a place to put all my lessons. Like I did a song, videos, and I can go in, find that little spot, and then you can go to your videos and play them. And my kids really, really just love doing that. And I can go right into my textbook. And I don't have to go to Launchpad, to this, to that, to that, to that, that. And then finally I find it 5 minutes later, and all my kids are running around, so it's just nice to have that feature where it's fairly quick to get there. And like a Nearpod lesson that I made, that somebody made on measurement and data. I mean, it's just a really, really great place to put your lessons, and just one place to go to do that. I wanted to show you this. I really like drag a copy. You just click on it, you go down to drag a copy, and we were estimating. And so, and they had their own paper on their, in their math books, and then I gave them beads. And so we're able to do that. And so it just was fun, doing that estimation, and they had to figure out how many beads. And I tried to make it an inch long, just so we were all on the same length. And then when you're done, you just reset the page and it's ready for the next time you're ready to use it. And then I wanted to share this because this is something that was really, I was so excited about. When you go to your tools, there's all of these, and then there's the ruler. And I love it because you can go in here, you can do the top scale if you want it to be, we're working on inches, so I had inches. You can go to the bottom scale, make it inches or centimeters, however you want to do it. But I love it because it's like right there, and they were able to measure their line. And we were talking about, measuring up, or some of those standards of, that's still, let's see, we have 6 inches. Even if we do it like this, it's still 6 inches, even though it ends on 8. So it's nice to kind of move and to be able to talk about where and what, how much length and that kind of thing. So I just thought that was really good. And when you're ready to close it, you just close it and there you go. So that came in really handy when, teaching length and using the inch ruler, because you don't really have that for your board and you can't just take a real one and stick it up there. And anyway, so that was a really cool feature that I love and that I've been using a lot lately. I also just want to talk a little bit about, I use it for my writing, and I had a one flip chart with all of this on it. And we would just do this part, and then we would do this part, and then we do this part, and then we do this part, and then they would have a writing, and they would, finish writing their opinion piece. So it was nice just to be able to do, talk about one part, and then I could write in here with the pen, whatever. And then, you skip to the next page if you save it, and then you could write, your opinion here. So you still have this and this. And then, so I just use that to help me show my students about writing and those step-by-step processes of writing, in our case right now, an opinion piece. And this is my little Olivia. She did a very awesome job on her piece. I also I use it for some phonics things. For decoding words, I have a worksheet that I give for homework, and then it has the beginning sounds, and then they'd have to write it. And so I would just type it in, and, or I do like the text, and I, write the P in there. And then I might, we go to the next one, the A, and the I for in. And so it was just fun. And then you just kind of moved it up in there, and you could do the Valtines, a different color. And they just enjoyed doing that and having fun with that and just working. They had their own paper at their desk, and then we could have someone come up and, write it and discover it. So I just really am excited about the flip chart and all the things that you can do with it. And my main goal, like for you, is just that you get out and you try some of these things, these resources, and take the opportunity to explore and do that. And so that's what's kind of exciting, because there's not one way to do it. And you can use all the games and resources to teach your children what they need to learn. And I just want to put this up here. We did a timed reading, and everyone was in different levels, but I was able to put up a picture of all the books in the different levels so that everyone can see we're reading the same, but we might be reading a little differently, and the do's and don'ts of that. And they had a really fun time just doing that with that lesson, and be able to use the flip chart for that. So I don't know how much time I had left. I don't, but I just want to say, go out and create, design, inspire students. There are so many things that you can use these flip charts for. I mean, go back to the browsers, anything that your, resources that they have for you. You have so much that you can use. And that's the page sorter. So let's see, resources, did I do the right one? I mean, so go explore and find new ways that you can do and create and design. Okay. Any questions? Do I have more time? Is there anything specific that people might want to know about that I can share?
Hey, Colleen, it's Laura.
Hi, Laura.
Awesome job. And I think the biggest take back, at least in the chat, is that everyone is just in awe with the primary look and feel, because so many of us don't use it. And to see you using it for your whole flip chart, I think we were all just like, wow, that looks really nice. If you could, if you remember how, if you could show us how you changed it from the studio version of the of ActivInspire to the primary version.
Yes, and I'll have to go out and come back in, but you can go, I think that's this, right? And let's see, file.
It's going to be under your view.
I think it's view.
Yeah.
So go to view, and then you go all the way down to studio look and feel.
Yep.
And then
that's
just
all you have
click
to
on
show
that.
them. Yeah. So
Okay,
you don't
and
have to
then
actually
yes.
touch it. Yeah.
Yeah, because
So
you have
you
to
just
go out and come back in.
Yep. So it's
Let me
very
say
easy.
yes,
So if she
go out.
wanted to change it, she could just, you don't have to, but she would just say yes. And then the next time she went into ActivInspire, it would be back to the studio version. And if you want to go back to primary, you just do the exact same thing again, only choose the primary look and feel. So that was great.
View, and then, yeah, so.
And then there were a couple people that were asking for your presentation. And I know you had mentioned that you were probably going to share it. So if you want to either share it with me, or if you want to put that in the chat, whatever you prefer.
Okay, so and that was another thing I want to say, like, for those of you who are like techie savvy, I'm kind of in between. I'm not the, guru, but I'm not like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. So, I mean, anybody can just come in and start making flip charts, even starting out with, just one page and adding videos or, whatever for that. So, so then I want to know to share. I probably just have to send it.
Yeah, you sent it to me, so I'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
I'll just put it, the link you sent to me, I'll put that in the chat, okay? Don't worry about it.
Okay.
But everyone loved it, so thank you so much, and you did an awesome job.
To all of our teachers attending today, any of the resources that any of our presenters have been shared, you're going to receive a follow-up email that will ultimately have the links to our landing page with all of the recordings, and we'll make sure that you get copies of all the teacher presentations. And just to echo everything that we're seeing in the chat, Colleen, you may think that you're not tech savvy here, but those look like incredible lessons. So I know people are just super excited to kind of explore this primary look and feel, to just see how many interactive components you have on there. So thank you so much for sharing that with everybody. I would love to be a student in your class too. It looks super fun. So we really appreciate you jumping on and showing us what it's like to be part of your classroom. You've got some comments in the chat, just loving that primary look. So thank you for showing everybody how to do that.